Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Free State Online channel. We are having Mr. Juan here. Mr. Juan, can you please tell us where do you come from and why are you here today at the Luthuli House?
Sure, my name is Juan Cassedy. I'm the CEO of the Hydrome Renewable Energy Group, and we are here today to bring a solution to South Africa's energy problems. We're not here to protest. We know there's a shortage of there's load shedding, there's shortage of energy. We know energy is too expensive in this country, and we know the coal-fired power stations aren't just doing the job. So we are here to bring a solution to the nation, and we're telling the nation that there is a solution. Don't be discouraged. The solution is hydrome energy power stations. They can be built next to the ocean that uses seawater to generate energy with and releases the seawater back into the ocean without contamination. Now these power stations are large scale and can supply 50,000 megawatts to South Africa without coal, without fossil fuels like gas, without hydrogen, solar, wind or nuclear. We have the solution, but we aren't heard. As a citizen, I'm standing up now and I'm telling the nation that there's a solution and we need the president behind us. If the president does not get restrained to know of our solution, the energy sector in South Africa will boom. The energy crisis will end because load shedding will be a thing of the past, and will bring the tariffs down from R3.94 per kilowatt hour to R1 per kilowatt hour, because we can generate for such a little amount that we can afford to give the nation a solid R1 per 1 kilowatt hour for the next 100 years, because this is a solution to stay. Once we build these power stations next to the coastline of South Africa, we will not have any energy problems, and that is a fact.
So tell us, how reliable is this hydrome energy? Has it been used? Has it been tested in South Africa? Where have you run the pioneering project?
Look, in general, hydroelectricity is one of the oldest ways to generate energy and one of the most stable ways to generate electricity with. So the fact that we're using a hydro in our plants, which is water, it's already a plus point, and it's not unstable, because if there's no wind, there's no power. With hydro, there's power without wind. If there's no sun, we can still generate electricity, and that's the fact. So at the end of the day, we have a plant simulator. We've been running for 7 years. For the last 3.5 years, we've been trying to give this information to the president, and even in the private office of the president, we've been restrained to even get our memorandum to him. I know for a fact that our documents are with Minister Gwede Mantashe, because on the 6th of March 2020, we had an interview with him. We had a meeting in his boardroom, and we informed him that, Minister, there's a solution to bring to the nation that can generate energy cheaply, affordably and stable. Stability is what we need. We can't have load shedding in the day of age of 2023. So our solution is stable. It's been running on plant simulators, and the only thing we need is a 1 hour meeting with President Cyril Ramaphosa to inform him of this solution, because he gets restrained by those closest under his wings. And we have evidence, we have phone recordings, we have voice messages, because we need to keep track and record of this, because everything we do is being shoved under the rug, and we don't understand why, because we're here with a solution for this whole country. Politics, protocols and policies restrain our country from moving forward, and we can't allow that to happen as citizens, because government needs to start listening to what we have to say. We listen to what government have to say, and look where we are at the moment. We need the government support behind the people, and we need the people's support behind the right renewable solution, which is hydrome energy.
So John, tell me, we have provinces such as Limpopo, Free State, where there's no water at all. How would you be able to get this hydro energy running that side?
Look, we can build power stations next to the ocean, next to the coastline. The energy that's generated goes into the national energy grid, which is a mixed grid anyways. So if our power stations are connected to the grid, it doesn't matter, for example, where you are. If you're in Limpopo or Joburg or KwaZulu-Natal or PE, you will get a mix of energy. Until the whole grid is filled with hydro energy, we are still in the energy mix. So it doesn't matter where our plants are built. You as a citizen will still get energy. But now if we push hydro energy into the grid at affordable prices, we expect Eskom and the government to give it to people at affordable prices. At the moment, there's no affordable price for energy. And if the solution is not being implemented as we speak right now, from today, the country will pay R10 per 1 kilowatt hour. And that is not a joke, because we can't afford it.
So how long does it take to build these power stations you are speaking of?
To build one power station, you'll need between 6 to 8 months. It will create jobs for 500 people in construction and then 150 people or staff on permanent positions. If we go large scale and say we need 50 power stations, it will generate 9,000 megawatts for the country, or let's say for KwaZulu-Natal, we're talking about 25,000 positions in construction through the 6 to 8 month phase, and we're talking about 7,500 permanent positions. So we're not only creating stable electricity, we are creating jobs in the process as well. So the power plants are stable, it's been running on plant simulators. We just need the president to be behind us, because if I was in America right now, I had to go to the energy minister of President Biden and I had to inform President Biden of the solution. But I don't live in America, I live in South Africa, and President Cyril Ramaphosa is South Africa's president, and we need to inform him of the solution, otherwise we'll sit in darkness for the next 200 years.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, since you have been meeting with the presidency and the Minister of Energy, Mr. Gwedemantashe, have you ever tried the provinces, the premiers, outside of the national meetings you had, or the municipalities?
We've approached municipalities for the purpose of getting a power purchase agreement, because unfortunately the PPAs in this country is restraining the country to move forward. For example, there's bid window 5 that the government is very proud of. For example, if there's 25 or 30 companies that's in the bid window 5 and only 5 of them get approved, 5 of them get power purchase agreements, and then there's this big ceremony. But why? Why are we being restrained to get power purchase agreements? And why must municipalities go through all these stages just to find energy generators to supply their districts? It is ludicrous on our side, because we know we have a solution. And power purchase agreements, let's give you an example. If there's a shortage of energy in this country, why does somebody need a power purchase agreement? If you build a power plant and you generate energy, what is going to happen with the energy? It's going to be purchased by Eskom for the people, and that is what will happen to energy. Why do we need a power purchase agreement to just restrain us? It's not protocols and policies and politics that we want. That only restrains this country from moving forward.
Okay, Mr. Juan Cassedy, thank you very much for your time, and hopefully your solutions will be heard, the leadership will hear them, and definitely arrange some meetings so that we can find a solution. Today at 3 p.m. I had there's a meeting for the energy dialogue with the Secretary General of the ANC, Mr. Fikile Mbalula at Wits University. I hope you make a part of that meeting, because it seems you have some nice solutions, and particularly the less cost solutions, because our people need to pay less for this electricity.
Of course. Our main goal is to supply stable electricity, cheap and affordable electricity, and to create jobs in the meantime, because we have to build these power plants. Government says that it's not up to them to supply jobs to people. We have a solution we can give government that will supply jobs to 560,000 people now if the president is behind us. So I'm going to try and be at this engagement at 3 o'clock. But just know that the president must get behind us. The nation must get behind us, because we have the solution and we're coming forward and we're not being heard. And I hope South Africa knows now of the solution, and they mustn't feel discouraged. It's correct that they must have protests, because it's taken us so far that people must start protesting against load shedding, against expensive energy tariffs, and against fossil fuels as well. Because remember, we need as a country to move away from fossil fuels, and you can't do that with wind and solar. You can only do it with a stable supply of electricity, and we have that. We want to give it to the nation, but the president must be part, because it's his responsibility to inform the nation what the solution is. But if we can't get to the president to inform him of the solution, it will never happen.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Juan Cassedy. Have a nice day, God bless. Thank you.